Lads, I'm not joking when I say this. Something's gone weirdly wrong. Like we hired a freaking chronically online GM. Like we hired a chronically online GM. What is going on? She's just deleted her Twitter. She's getting called out because it was exposed because an interview got brought up. They start bringing up an interview that she basically said, I mean, we have Caitlyn and Aaliyah, but like we want to grow the organization. Like, no. Like, you're trying to grow the organization outside of that. They basically trying to do what the WNBA were saying. It's like, oh yeah, we're trying to make sure that like that the league grows without Caitlyn. It's like, no, you promote Caitlyn and everybody else. You don't promote them at the expense of Caitlyn. You allow everybody to watch the Fever and you hope that they stay. You naturally hope they stay and there's a natural growth in the league. You don't work against. It's like all the momentum's going this way. Let's just say all the momentum is going left. Let's just say the momentum is going one way. It's all going this way. And the reality is you want it to go straight up. So, you're essentially fighting back at the momentum. And it's going everywhere. It's not going where you want it to. When the easiest way to get it from if going straight across to going up high, maybe instead of it going straight across from just Caitlyn, you maybe tilt it slightly. Where it's like, you know what, we're promoting games, we're promoting Caitlyn, but we're going to promote everything else, and we're going to try and get people to watch other games. We're going to try and people fans of other teams, and then gradually, the league gets into the position that Caitlyn Clark is in, and the momentum is all going at that angle to eventually hit the heights that they would total as a league. But they're fighting against Caitlyn, and our team's fighting against Caitlyn. And that's what the problem is. They hired a coach that is just basketball philosophically against Caitlyn Clark. Just philosophically against Caitlyn Clark, basketball-wise. And I mean this when I say this. Like, that's not saying Stephanie White's a bad coach. I'm saying she was a bad hire for this specific team. And that's fine. At the end of the day, it's a... Like, it is what it is. Like, you can have a... Like, you can have a... Just something that doesn't fit. You can have something that absolutely does not fit. And that's not on... I think the Stephanie White is a hindsight bad deal. I think it was a hindsight bad hiring. I don't think it was a problem. I think the problem with her basketball decisions is she made every single wrong basketball decision except getting lucky that Michaela Timpson fell in their lap. But then they used the other first-round pick, which they could have used. They didn't need a big if they took Michaela Timpson. They could have used it on what they really needed, like a kind of true ball-handling wing. You could have taken J.J. Quinterly. You could have taken Lucy Olsen. You could have taken Leah Tu King, who would have given you some athleticism. You could have taken someone like an Annika Soltau and stashed her and hoped for the best. You had a third-round pick that used on Yvonne Ejim, which you could have used on Annika Soltau again. Again, do I think Annika Soltau is going to be anything great? No, but this time last year, Annika Soltau was projected to be a first-round pick. She had a horrific year in Spain because she was ranked... Basically, she was playing behind Awafam in the Spanish league, and Awafam just eclipsed her. But Annika Soltau was 19. She could improve, and you stash her and see what happens. But now you have Yvonne Ejim, which was a pointless signing. Bria Hall, which everyone just assumed, okay, they're just going to let Bria Hall go and they're going to sign her back. The team's now sitting on a max contract with the salary. They didn't recruit in Europe. At all. They didn't recruit overseas. Like, it is all around just ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. And like, I mean this when I say this. You have objectively, I'm not saying Kelly Krauskopf is bad at her job. I'm not saying she is bad at her job. I'm not saying that it's not going to change. I'm not calling for her head realistically. Because I don't think the president of basketball has as much impact on the on-the-court products as we think. And let's be real, the FIFA have actually done a pretty decent job, like on a lot of marketing. I think she made a lot of bad decisions and she went down the wrong route. I think she did a terrible job this offseason. I'm not calling for her head. I'm not calling for her to be fired right now. At the end of the day, that like it is what it is with that. I think she went out there with a really, really bad philosophy on what she was going to do. I think she thought it was going to be easier than it was. I think she thought Caitlin Clark was going to be malleable and if she was going to be a system player. When let's be real, we all knew it from a year ago that Caitlin Clark is the system. She is a system player. Like, she can't mold into a system that's not her system. Like, Caitlin is a system. And everyone's like, oh, heliocentric style doesn't work. And it's like, they're like, D'Antoni's doesn't work. Man, D'Antoni regularly took less talented teams and nearly won a title. D'Antoni would regularly go out in the postseason with, like, the 7th most talented roster player for player and have them as contenders. The 2 teams that fully bought in, that's what happened. That is what happened. And, like, this is a tweet from me, July the 14th. The run and gun system with Caitlin Clark as the orchestrator is unstoppable. Caitlin Clark herself is not. Slowing down and telling Caitlin Clark to pass and spot a weak side is why they went 1-9 start the year. Running in the fourth is why they scored 28 points and won, when they made a huge comeback against the Minnesota Lynx to win that game. Like, 1 year ago today, we were having the same discussions. Like, except now, they exclusively play slow in the fourth. Like, they have not ran in a fourth quarter yet this year. Like, it's embarrassing. It's all around it's been all embarrassing. And you go and delete your Twitter. Dude, I mean this. I mean this when I say this. And by the way, I have not received the amount of abuse that Kelly Krauskopf has been receiving in the last day. I mean this when I say this. I was, at one stage, one of the most hated YouTubers in the 2K community. 2K is the most toxic community. I was getting death threats. I was having people, like, trying to do everything. I was one of the most hated people. And this is peak pandemic when everyone's trapped inside and it was as bad. You know what I did? I went to the Twitter app on my phone. I held onto the button and I dragged it all the way up to uninstall. And I uninstalled Twitter for like 3 days. I recorded videos. I didn't stream because I would have to read comments. I didn't read comments. I didn't do any of that. And I just did my job. And then when I was in a better headspace, better frame of mind, the 2K Twitter community had their new target that they wanted to attack. And it's all good. Let's be real. Let's be real. You are the president of the most popular team in the WNBA. You are going to receive extra praise when it goes well and extra criticism when it doesn't. Let's be real. The defense is good. Brianne January, exclusively praised. Everyone that has anything to do with the team's offense, disaster. But anyway, yeah, that's the video. I'll see you guys.